Okay. Hello, you guys. I'm live. It was taking a little while to come up, but I am here. Very excited to be here with y'all today for some live coaching. I have not done live coaching in quite some time. And as a matter of fact, because I haven't done live coaching in quite some time, I'm going to quickly pop onto Instagram and let the Instagrammers know. Hey, y'all. Yahya here. I am coaching you live. It is an hour of live coaching going on now on YouTube and Facebook. If you are not following Feminine Success on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe and join us live right now. If you're not in the Facebook group, Feminine Success Society on Facebook, and we are live coaching today. All right. I'll see y'all on the other side. Hey y'all, yeah. Okay. I won't be all loud in y'all ear. But I am here to give you a little taste of what the Feminine Success Master Training is like. We literally do this for 5 days in the master training. So there are 5 guided lessons, guided trainings that you experience inside of the master training on demand at your own pace. And then in the evening, so next Tuesday through Sunday, we will be coaching live each evening, and I'll be there to support you with strategy, personalized systems to help you navigate home life, work life, mindset, relationships. Those are the 4 key areas that I focus on in feminine success. And so I wanted to come on live and give you guys a little taste today, answer any questions that you might have. And even if there are some things that you have been wondering for yourself, that you've needed strategy around, that you've needed some support around, I want to make sure to get those questions answered for you. Hi there on Facebook. Make sure that you give permission for me to see your name if you're on Facebook, because otherwise it just says Facebook user on my end. All right. So we're going to get into it, y'all, because I don't want to be here all night, but sometimes I can. Hi, Eden. Is that Eden, my client, or is that a different Eden? Hi, Eden. So good to see you. So I'm going to get into some of the questions that I've already received, and you guys are more than welcome to ask questions here on live. So if you have been saying to yourself, I need to hire a life coach, and there's a specific area of your life that you have a pressing question, now is the time to ask that question. So let me get into it. Hold on. Let me pull up. Okay. So the first question, I love talking about relationships. If you've been around for any amount of time, you know I love talking about relationships. I love talking about growing as women on our feminine journey and true femininity, not just wear a pretty dress femininity, wear great makeup femininity. Now, listen, I have a wonderful makeup collection that I love so much. I just got back from Sephora. But femininity is so much deeper than what you're putting on your face. Femininity is so much deeper than what you're putting on your body. Femininity is how you shine from the inside out. I had a client yesterday, and I asked her, I said, well, when you came to me, were you looking to invest in femininity? And of course, my mind is like, well, market research as a business owner, what is it really that you were looking for? And that's actually exactly what she was looking for. And she said something to me that really stood out as far as what we are seeking when we are seeking femininity these days, because there's so much conversation about looking pretty, attracting a man, attracting a rich man, and all these other things. But she said to me, Yaya, you know that there are some women who you see in their 80s, in their 70s, who still shine, who are still beautiful in their older age. And that is what I wanted. I wanted to feel good from the inside out, because a lot of what we hear about being feminine now is about feeling good from the outside in. If you put your makeup on right, if you wear the right kind of clothing, while those things do contribute because you feel good when you look good, there is a part of that you have to be aware after 36, 40, the body starts changing and doing different things. So if a wrinkle in your face is going to make you feel less feminine, then you've been doing it wrong. If not wearing a dress is going to make you feel less feminine, then you've been doing it wrong. And that being able to feel good from the inside out, being able to truly feel good about your life, feel good about yourself as a woman, those are the things that cause you to be magnetic. Those are the things that cause you to attract the right partners. Those are the things that, as women, are what creates that warmth that people are looking for, that feminine warmth that folks want to attach themselves to. So, for those of you who don't know who I am Yahya Smith. I am a woman first, a daughter of the Most High God first, and directly after, I am a wife and mom. I'm a mom of four. I'm a homeschool mother. Have always been a homeschool mom. So yes, I'm a little crazy. I am a coach to an amazing community of women. I'm the founder of Feminine Success, creator of the Feminine Success School, and author of the Feminine Success book. And my entire purpose in life is to truly, at the root of it, is to rebuild and support in the emergence of an excellent community and nation for us as a collective. However, my path to doing that is helping women get back in touch with themselves, helping women to truly reconnect with the way that we were designed to be. Before the world told us that we needed to hustle harder, before the world said that as a Black woman, you have to work twice as hard and be comfortable making half as much, before the world told you that you have to settle for whatever man you can get because there aren't enough out here, or you have to settle for being single and that's not really what you want to be, because if you want success, you can't have both. My goal is to help women realize that you can have holistic success, that you can have the love that you desire, you can have the career that you desire, you can be a mom. You do not have to sacrifice your heart's desire for success. And if you're sacrificing your heart's desire, is it really success? And so that's who I am, and that's what I do. That's what I share. I've been doing this for over 7 years now. I've helped hundreds of women all over the world transform their lives, transform their marriages, transform their mindsets, transform even their dating lives. All of my clients are not married, but they are women who value marriage, who value family, who value the masculine feminine harmony. All right. And I help you to get to that masculine and feminine harmony within yourself. So many times in the feminine space, quote unquote, we hear people telling women to be less masculine, that you need to turn off your masculinity and turn on your femininity. Well, I'm here to tell you that those things can live in harmony within you, that those are powers that actually work complementary to each other, not that I have to be this soft, docile, soft spoken woman and ignore my feelings, ignore my voice to be more palatable to other people. Absolutely not. And that is not how we maintain powerful families, powerful relationships, and a powerful presence as an individual woman. We don't do that by silencing ourselves. But what I am here to help you understand is that there is a time to be silent and there's a time to speak up. I'm here to help you value what you're saying over just having a voice. Having a voice is wonderful. Having something to say is even better. And knowing how to value what you have to say is even better. From your work life to your relationships to your home life to your thought life, because what you're saying to yourself in your mind is the most important thing. So that's who I am. That is what I do. That is who I share. Let's see. I love you. Realistic conservatism. You are a gem. Well, I won't say I'm not conservative and I won't say I'm not liberal. I am adaptable. And I think that as humans, we all need to be adaptable. But thank you so much for your support, Jonathan Parker. I appreciate you very much. Eden says, a different Eden, but I found out you had a client under the same name last week. Yes, I do. Hi, Eden. So good to see you. All right. All right. So let's get into some of the questions that have come up. And feel free, like I said, this is a live coaching session. If you have questions, I'm here to answer your questions. I'm here to support you. This is not something that I do often at all. Normally, coaching is reserved for my community. So take full advantage while you have me here. All right, let's see. First question: how do high achieving, accomplished women find the right men? These women have worked so hard to create the life that they are leading. How do they choose the right men in dating? So the first question is, how do high achieving, accomplished women find the right men? These women have worked so hard to create the life that they are leading, yet how do they choose the right men in dating? I think this is such a common question. Over the years, I've gotten this question so many times, and I'm super excited to answer it. How do high achieving, accomplished women find the right man? The first thing is, as feminine women, we have to shift our perspective and our approach from finding a man to attracting a man. That's the first thing. And you've probably heard that 1,000 times online. It is not your job to find a man. However, and I always go back to the story of Adam and Eve here, because not to hit you over the head with the Bible, but I do want to give you an example that a lot of people can relate to and understand. So, did God make Eve and then place her in the garden and say, go find your man? No. He created this woman and presented her to the man. So she was on display. I'm not telling you to go put yourself on display like a piece of meat. But what I am saying is that so often when you are a high achieving woman, when you are an accomplished woman, you can be very much involved and engaged with your work all the time. And if that is you, understand that your husband is probably not going to be your DoorDash guy. Like, you've got to have a social life, some way, shape, or form, so that you can be in an environment that supports a man being attracted to you. I was just talking to a client of mine today about this very thing. And she's a nurse. So obviously she's working 12-hour days all the time. And when she's off, she's not enjoying herself. She's resting in that piece. But there has to be time for you in your schedule. High achieving women tend to be completely focused on work, completely focused on achieving and accomplishing the next thing. And I'll tell you what I told my client today. If you want to start dating a man, you have to stop dating your job. Because right now, your job is your man. If you don't have time for you in your day to take care of yourself in your day, then how will you have time to grow a healthy relationship? Realistically, how will you have the time to grow a healthy relationship? So it's very, very important that you learn how to structure your life to center yourself. And this doesn't mean you're selfish and more important than everybody else and you're letting go of all of your responsibilities. That's not what this means. But it does mean that you work way too hard to not be a priority in your own life. So that's the first part. Make sure that you actually have time and space in your life and that you are putting yourself in places where men are. If you are a high achieving woman and you want to attract a man who is at your level, are you going to places when you are spending that time socially that are at your level? I'll just give you a real quick one. For those of you who are like, I don't know where to find men, or where do the men hang out? Go to a Roots Chris at happy hour and sit at the bar. You'll meet lots of high achieving men there. Go to a 5-star hotel and go to the lounge or go to the bar, have a cup of tea, have a cup of coffee there. You'll meet men. Be willing, and this is another piece. So often as women, we are wanting to attract men, but we do not like men. Think about how you respond when a man tries to spark up a conversation with you. Do you respond in a way that invites conversation, or are you like, what are you talking to me for? Because that will repel exactly what you're trying to attract. So make sure that you actually are making time to be attractive, to be in spaces where you can attract. Make sure also that you are not taking actions that actually repel what you are seeking. So that means a lot of times it's unconscious. A lot of times it's unconscious. That, what is this man trying to talk to me for? Is an unconscious response. So often we see that in the media. We see that women respond that way on social media. We see that, we hear it in songs. We see it in movies. But that is repelling what you actually desire. And then the third thing that I'll say about this is make sure that you have the skills to grow a relationship. What I will tell you is that as a high achieving, accomplished woman myself, we often try to integrate the skills that have helped us to create success in one area into another area of our lives. Case in point, if you are a boss at work, if you are a CEO, or even in upper management, if you are the woman who is climbing the corporate ladder, building your business, doing all of these things that support success in your work life, do you know what to do to support success in relationships? Because the same skill set is not going to work in both places. And I liken it to trying to build a house with the wrong tools. You might have the understanding of what it takes to build a house, just like you might have the understanding of what it takes to build a relationship, communication, and all of those things. Understanding, cooperation, compromise. You might understand consciously, but do you have the actual tools to navigate that space and create success? That's also very important. And we go deeper into those well-loved woman relationship tools in module 4 of the master training. So if you've been thinking about it, if you've been like, is this right for me? If this is your question and you're wondering, how do I, now that I have built my life, now that I have gone after the success that I wanted, the accomplishments that I wanted, I've done those things, how do I now build my happily ever after? Then module 4 will support you, as well as the first module of the masterclass, which talks about the mindsets that are getting in our way, which takes you into that inner child, inner teenager, inner young adult work that is often where we got stuck in our relationship building in our life. So that is my answer to how do high achieving, accomplished women find the right men. Make sure that you have the time and the positioning, that you are actually intentional about having a social life, an enjoyable social life, because joy is attractive. Joy is attractive. Happiness is attractive. Okay. Being the woman who is too serious for everybody, you don't want to talk to anybody, nobody should talk to you. Like, that's not gonna attract anybody. It's not. And sometimes we say things like, well, I'm going to be this way so I can weed out the men who aren't serious. Well, now we live in a time and we have to be willing to be mindful of the times that we live in. Now we live in a time where if you show disinterest toward a man, he's automatically going to back off because of the potential of being said to harass you or anything like that. So you do have to be the kind of person who enjoys people, who enjoys conversation, who enjoys connection. And sometimes it's not that you're not that kind of person, it's that those skills have been buried under work, under the trauma of the workplace, which we don't talk about a lot, but workplace trauma is a real thing. And it can turn you off from being the kind of person who likes to be around people and who is magnetic and attractive to people. So undoing those knots is very necessary. So that's the first thing. The second thing is to, what did I say, y'all? What did I say? Being in the right place. Make sure that you actually like who you're trying to attract. I have been that woman, and I have met many women who say that they want a husband, but they literally cannot stand men, are so annoyed and aggravated by men. Not to say that men don't do some annoying and aggravating things sometimes, but a part of femininity is being able to hold steady to, I don't want to call it innocence and I don't want to call it naivete, but the soft part of yourself believes, that believes that love is available for you, that believes that there are good people in the world who want to love you, who want to cherish you, who want to support you, that believes that things can come easily to you. Yes, there are some things that maybe you've had to work hard for, but you have got to get back in touch with the version of you that believes that some things can be easy, because relationship is not supposed to be hard. Relating between a man and a woman is not supposed to be hard. I know that is something that you do not learn these days, but we were designed to work together like puzzle pieces. We were designed to work together. So all of this tension between the masculine and the feminine that we're experiencing nowadays is manufactured and it's unnatural. So you've got to be willing to get back to the version of you that can operate in ease with the opposite sex. And that's beyond just romantic relationships. That's about how you operate with your money, because money is a masculine force too. That's about how you operate with your job. What is your relationship like with your work? Because if you have a relationship with work where you don't know when to stop, you are always over giving, you never stop and celebrate yourself, you are always looking for what's the next accomplishment, you feel worthless when you're not accomplishing something, then guess what? That is how your relationship with the masculine is going to show up across the board. And so you've got to get to the place where you are able to heal that relationship internally between your inner masculine and feminine, so that you can then heal the relationship and heal your attractive ability. I talked to a client, the client that I was talking to earlier today, and she's like, yeah, I've been working on building my receiving muscles, building my receiving muscles. That's so important. Building your attraction muscles is also important. And it's more than looking pretty. I know because I don't know them personally, but I know a few people who are coaching you on femininity, coaching you on beauty, coaching you on being able to attract, but they do not have a mate. They have not attracted. And so I'm not saying that to shade anybody, but what I'm saying is that attraction is deeper than what you put on. Attraction is deeper than what you're wearing. And because in corporate spaces, we often are rewarded when we look good. We think, well, if I'm the most beautiful woman in the room, I should be attracting all the men. But it is the inner light that actually draws people to you and keeps them there. The external can draw people to you for sure. But to actually keep good, healthy people in your life, you have to constantly be brightening your inner light. So I hope that that helped for those who are who are wondering and who also have the same question. How do high achieving, accomplished women find the right man? First of all, stop trying to find him. Become the magnet. Become the magnet. And I'll also say this. You want to Ruth was found, everybody waiting on Boaz, right? Not really, but you know. But Ruth was found doing her work. Ruth was found taking care of her community. She was found being of support. She was found in her feminine, really. And so when we think about what do I need to do to be attractive to the right man, you need to do you, because you want that man to be attracted to the authentic version of you. Now, what is actually happening for a lot of us, this is going to be a snatch, so I hope you got your edges tied down. What's actually happening for a lot of high achieving, accomplished women, I'm not saying that this is everyone, but this is a lot of women, is that you have been achieving and accomplishing things all along that were never authentic to you. You have been achieving things that your mother wanted you to do, that your counselor thought made sense, that your dad would be proud of if you did that thing. But you have not been pursuing the things that are truly authentic to you and are really who you desire to be. And so what you will attract are people who like the mask, but they don't like what's underneath the mask. So you want to make sure that you're making room in your life to do things that you truly enjoy, to do things that are real to you, that are not what's expected of you, but that are what you truly desire to do, so that the man that you attract is attracted to who you really are. All right. So I hope that that helped. Afuta says, why is Yahya always gathering us like this? I promise it's in love, because I love y'all. Because I love y'all. Let's see. Afuta also says that part, that's why I follow Yahya, to see that you actually had the mate, the family, and were managing it all on top of the wisdom you always share. And that's just a reality. I would not, I don't believe, I'm not the person who's like, disrespect the janitor because he don't know what he's talking about. No, because sometimes people do know what they're talking about and they just don't know how to apply what they're talking about. But I am the kind of person who, my coach has walked the path that I'm walking. I have done the things that I'm coaching my clients to do. So I'm not just telling you in theory. A lot of times, what really is the issue with that, because some people have had a lot of experiences, so they have a lot of advice to share. So you might have had a whole bunch of relationships that did not work out. So you can tell me exactly what to look for in a relationship that is not working out. But if I desire a successful, healthy relationship, you can't tell me that, because there is nuance that comes with accomplishing a thing, executing a thing, that you're just not going to learn from thinking about it. Okay. So just had to share that. So let's go move on to the next question. And like I said, if you all have questions, let me know, because that's what I'm here for tonight, to support you guys with clarity and strategy for things that you may be experiencing. Let's see. Facebook user Make sure to let me know who you are. Said, I was always confused about Ruth. It seemed to me that she kind of made a move on Boaz by laying on the threshing floor. Do you feel that we play an active role in being available for courting as well? Yes, I do. I do feel that, especially in this day and age, as women, we have got to let a man know that, yes, we are interested. Not, oh, well, I'm going to sit over here and just kind of play the wall and see if he approaches me, even if it's eye contact. I'm not the woman who's like, go tell him you like him, girl. No, no. But extended eye contact, making conversation, smiling, giving a compliment. Those things open the door to let them know, hey, I am interested in taking this conversation with you further. So I do believe that we don't need to be the kind of women who are like, I'm just going to sit back and wait and see and hope it happens. You didn't do that in your career. You did not. And personally, I did not. I did not. I was very clear with my husband and allowed him to make the decision. But he knew that, like I said, we never dated. We went from friendship to courting. But as friends, we had already talked about marriage. We had talked about what we wanted in our future, not necessarily with each other, but personally. I had already told him that I found him very attractive, that if I found a husband, I would want him to have his characteristics. And we had already had those conversations. I do not believe in silencing yourself and hoping that someone can read your mind. And that's where that masculine feminine harmony comes in. You've got to be willing to speak up for what you desire in your life. Okay, we are not babies. We are not babies where you could just make a sad face and somebody gonna pop a boob out and come feed you, or a bottle. That doesn't work like that. So I do believe in taking intentional steps. What I also believe in is that Ruth had a Naomi. Ruth had someone who could tell her the proper steps to take, who could give her wisdom. And she wasn't just out there throwing stuff at the wall and hoping that it stuck. She had a strategy. When she went and laid on that floor, she had a strategy in place. Ruth didn't just go lay there and say, oh, well, Boaz, I like you. I saw you today and I really like you. Ruth had a clear cut strategy. And a lot of times we are approaching life, relationships, womanhood, even with no strategy, or with an outdated strategy, with a strategy that didn't work for your mother, but now you're going to try it and see if it worked for you. Or barely worked for your grandmother, or barely worked for your good girlfriend. Now you're going to try it out and see if it works for you. This is why I always say there's a difference between advice and insight. A lot of times we're taking advice from people who do not have insight. Advice is free. You can find advice anywhere online. You can scroll past some advice, but insight is based on having an insider knowledge of not only the thing that you're trying to accomplish, but your life as well. This is why I always say, I won't even hire a coach who doesn't have a coach. I won't, because I need to know that you have insider knowledge, that what I can go YouTube is not what I'm going to come and find from you. Okay, so just be smart about who you're taking advice from. Make sure that you have a Naomi in your life, that you have someone who you can go to and say, A, B, and C is happening with me. What are the next steps that I need to take? Or I tried to do this and these were the results. What do I need to do now? Rather than just kind of shooting in the dark and playing Russian roulette with your heart. All right. Okay, it's Chantel. Hey, Chantel. Make sure that you give me permission to see your name. Facebook user, I'm not sure if this is Chantel again, but says, I've attracted my ideal partner this month and everything is going great. Can you give advice on how to keep things going in the right direction? Keeping them once you manifest them. I do believe that a month is a very short time to know whether that is the ideal person. I would say give it some time. Now, a month in, it's time for you to be paying attention to what he's got going on. Pay attention to, is he trying to stay around? Is he trying to figure out how to make time to see you, to communicate, to connect? What are those things? Because right now you're still in the time period of, is this my ideal partner? A month in, everybody is beautiful, everybody's wonderful. Have you stress tested the relationship yet? So if this is Chantel, go into Feminine Success School and watch How to Give Yourself in Doses, How to Give Yourself in Doses, watch How to Vet a Male Partner, and also what did I want? What did I want you to watch if this is Chantel? How to Give Yourself in Doses, How to Vet a Male Partner, and the Feminine Success Relationship Dating Rules. Watch those 3 videos, and that will support you with getting clear on is this my person? Is this really my person? What are the potential issues in the relationship? Now, a month in is the time to be still observing, making sure that what you are seeing is what it is. All right. Also paying attention to your gut, paying attention to your responses to things, paying attention to things that might trigger you in conversation or in connection with this person. Just making sure that you're paying attention early on. Once you've gotten all of that clear, how to keep them once you've manifested them. If that is your right person, you don't have to do a whole bunch of extra stuff to keep them. If you attracted them by being yourself, continuing to be authentic is what will keep them, because they're attracted to your authenticity. So be mindful of that you are being authentic, that you are paying attention and observing, and that you're not falling down the rabbit hole too early. Walk into love, ladies. Don't fall. There's no need to fall. Love isn't going anywhere. Love is not going anywhere. There is no rush. There's no need to fall into it. You can walk into it with both of your feet planted on the ground and your eyes wide open, and you will be loved just as much. Okay. So you want to make sure that you're mindful and intentional about what that looks like. This helps to not repeat past mistakes. This helps to ensure that you are, I hear a lot of women say, I want a relationship, but I don't want to get lost in a relationship. I don't want to lose myself again. This is how you make sure that you don't lose yourself. Keeping a person that you have manifested is more so about keeping you than it is about keeping them. What often happens when we manifest a good relationship and then we lose that relationship is that we start to overdo, we go into overdrive to try to keep the relationship. We want to make sure we're talking to them all the time, and we're texting them all the time, and we're going out together, and we're seeing them, and all of these things. And really lean back a little bit. Lean back a little bit. And that doesn't mean lean back like lean away and make him have to pursue you and all of these things. Leaning back is not always about and should never be about manipulating the situation and making this man chase you, as much as it is about being observant, being intentional, and being willing to say, yes, this is a beautiful thing, but is it everything? Is it what I want? Let me look around at it a little bit. Let me pay a little bit more attention to it to see if this is actually something that I want to keep. All right. And if you've attracted him, being your authentic self, Men are so simple, y'all. We make men harder than they need to be because men are very simple. Keep being yourself. Don't switch up on him. Make sure that the things that made him feel comfortable enough to connect with you, that you're still that person. All right. Phoenix Rising says, Lord, I am missing the sermon. Will this be saved? Yes, this will be saved. It'll be on YouTube. You'll be able to watch back. So I hope that that helped for the person who is asking about how to keep someone that you have attracted once you manifest a great relationship. Make sure that you are manifesting from a place of authenticity so that you don't have to run yourself in the ground and run yourself ragged to try to keep it. This also goes back to the first question. How do high achieving women, accomplished women, find great men? This idea that we have to work twice as hard to keep them as we did to attract them comes from the masculine corporate model. Oh, you got the job. Now you got to work extra hard to keep the job. That is not how love and relationships work. Not authentic relationships, not real relationships. And I don't say it to brag, but I have a very real, authentic, loving relationship. And it has not been running on a hamster wheel trying to stay attractive to him. It has not been going extra hard trying to make sure that he comes home at the end of the day and I keep him. If I got to do all that to keep you, sir, you can go. And as women, we've got to regain the mindset, whether it's in the corporate space or in the relationship space, where we're not afraid to walk away from the table, where we don't have people making us jump through all these hoops to prove that we're worthy, what I call hustling to prove your worth, where you're not hustling to prove your worth because you don't have to. There is someone out there who will love you as you. So if you've attracted it, keep being authentic so that you can continue to keep a great relationship, and also keep prioritizing yourself, keep growing yourself. One of the things that I found personally, you guys have also probably heard this, men, as soon as you stop worrying about them, it's like money. As soon as you stop worrying about it, it just comes. As soon as you stop worrying about them, they're like looking for you in the daytime with a flashlight. That's really true. Women who are genuinely pleased with their lives, women who are genuinely joyful, women who are pleasant, women who are pouring into themselves and adding value to themselves and adventuring and enjoying life, make that man come find you. Make him want to be around you because you enjoy being around you, because you are having such a good time. He's like, I'm coming with you. What you doing today? We gonna have a good time together, because your joy is magnetic. Your joy is what is infectious. So make sure that you are being your real, true, authentic self. If your concern is keeping a new relationship that you have attracted, make sure that you attracted it authentically, that it was not your mask that they were attracted to, and keep being yourself and bettering yourself so that you always are giving more. My husband will never know me. And I know that sounds crazy to say, but I am literally always learning something new, transforming, growing. Now, does he know me? He knows my heart. He knows my soul. But as far as like, oh, that's my wife, she's super predictable. Oh no, I'm full of surprises. Every single day, my husband will tell you guys, every day he gets a new woman. Like every day, whether it's I'm dressing differently or something, I am adding some level of spice, some new flavor all the time. And I believe in being that way as a woman, constantly growing yourself, constantly multiplying the seeds that have been planted inside of you. And if you're growing your garden, of course, people are going to come want to eat the fruit. Of course, they're going to want to be around that. So I know they say, keeping a man is just so hard. It's really not, ladies. If you attract in the right way, keeping is not difficult. Now, if you attract in a way that says, I'm going to wear a short, skimpy dress to attract this man, even though that's not how I normally dress. Now, if that's how you normally dress, do your thing. But if that's not how you normally are, and you're like, I'm going to go to the club because that's what all my friends are doing, or I'm going to do this because that's what everybody else is doing, and they're finding a man that way, so that's what I'm going to do. And you attract, and then you realize, oh, he liked the version of me that always, was sexy. That's what he liked, was the sexiness. Then how will you be loved when you're having a sick day? When you are, say you get married and decide to have children. Birth is ugly, y'all. It's beautiful, but having had 3 home births and my husband caught our babies, birth, the last thing you want is somebody who's getting an attitude with you because you've gained weight since you got pregnant. Like, you want to make sure that you are attracting authentically so that you can be loved authentically and so that you can give love authentically in the relationship. All right. Okay, let's see. Phoenix Rising says, I've been saying this all day. Get you some business. Yeah. And, having a hobby, having fun as a woman, usually we feel like we don't have time to have fun. We're grown, all these things, but that really is what attracts people to you. That's what attracts great friends to you. That's what attracts great relationships to you. Great opportunities and connections is being the person who is in joy. Now, does that mean that if you are not a joyful, pleasant, happy woman, that you're never getting opportunities, that you're not attracting? No, it doesn't. But usually you have to work very hard. You have to burn yourself out to keep those things. So reset the tone in your life is what I'll say. Reset the tone to where you attract things with ease and things stay in your life with ease. And also, if that was Chantel that asked that question, I'll probably have to email it to you because I don't remember the title, but we had a call recently, our most recent relationship call. We talked about being easy to be with and also being easy to leave. And I know lots of what I teach is stuff that you've just never heard before. Okay. But being easy to leave makes it easier for people to stay in your life and for them to want to be in your life. When I attract clients, new clients, I'm not like, well, you better say yes to this or your life is going to just be horrible and you'll never be able to whatever if you don't hire me as your coach. No. Feel free to say no if it's not a fit for you. And when you create a tone, when you set a tone in your relationships that allow people to say, you know what, this isn't a fit, and to be able to release easily, it is easier for them to stay in your life because they don't feel forced to be there. So go listen to that call because it's very, very in depth, and it'll support you around all of what you're asking about right now. So I think I gave you like 3 or 4 calls to go and listen to. Okay. Let's see. Next question. Phoenix Rising, I see that you are here. So if you have questions, let me know. This is a live coaching session. I very rarely do live coaching. So, free live coaching. I very rarely do free live coaching. So If you have a question that you have been wanting to ask me, if you've been wanting to ask a coach to support you in your life, your work, your relationships, finding balance, harmony, whatever it is that you need, now is the time. If you are the person who is saying, this is good, I've been watching you for a while, or I've just found you, but I know that this is what I've been looking for, I do have a master training coming up. It starts on Tuesday. We stop enrollment this Friday. So you only have a couple days to grab a spot for that. This is the last time that I will coach this master training live. Going forward, there won't be a live component to it. So make sure that if you have been saying, I'm going to get in the master training, now is the time, that you don't procrastinate on it and that you do show up, grab your spot, because we're getting started. We're actually starting on Monday. We have our kickoff party, and then Tuesday through Sunday, we will be diving in. All right. So let me see if I have any other questions here. And if you guys have questions, pop them right into the chat. Let's see. Okay, requests. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, so I think all the questions are kind of very similar. The next one is, how do you show up in the masculine to achieve career success, but show up in the feminine in your relationships? And I think that this idea that masculine and feminine have to be separated is false, and it's incorrect. Because you need to be both masculine and feminine in both places. You need to be able to cooperate in your corporate career. You need to be able to build community around yourself in your career, or in your industry. You need to be able to admit your weaknesses, show vulnerability in your career in order to truly be fulfilled. Now, there are people who are achieving great things, who are reaching very high, but when you sit with them, when I sit with them, they are not really fulfilled in their work or in their lives. And so, in order to experience that true fulfillment, you do need to be able to exercise both the masculine and the feminine in both places. My husband is upstairs right now, but if he comes down, babe, if you come downstairs to give a couple words, I'd really appreciate it. But my husband, I asked him maybe 2 years ago. I was like, do you feel like I'm a feminine woman? Because here I am, the founder of Feminine Success, right? I am coaching women on femininity and supporting them with that. But I was like, do you think that I'm feminine? And he was like, no, I think that you're balanced. I think that you're very balanced. And in relationships, you do need to be balanced. And that doesn't mean you're equally masculine and feminine, but you do have to have harmony there, because you don't want to be the person who's getting overlooked in your relationship, ignored, walked over in your relationships. Now, one of the first things that I will say for the woman who has a hard time turning off that masculine side when you come home, one of the easiest ways, but it's like the hardest thing to do, one of the easiest ways to switch it off and pop into femininity is asking for help. If in your job you are constantly delegating, constantly giving commands, giving orders, shift that into asking. Shift that into saying, you know what? I am really tired. I've had a very long day. It would help me out so much if you XYZ. Because often what women mean when they say, I can't turn off the masculine is I can't stop taking control. I can't, when I get home, I'm still taking control. I'm still taking the wheel like I would do at work. So, one of the easiest ways is not to just let go of the reins, but to request support in some way, which allows you to be vulnerable, allows you to relax and lean back. All right. So I hope that that was helpful for any woman who might be experiencing that. And if you are in the master training, if you decide to join the master training, module 2 is what is going to support you. It is about well-managed home life systems, but it's not about organizing your house. It's about being able to get on the same page, create support systems inside of your home, communicate with your spouse, your partner, whoever you live with. That's what module 2 is about. So I would definitely recommend the master training for that. Okay, let's see. Jasmine Cormier says, and my husband did come downstairs, y'all. He's right there. Jasmine says, I'm currently struggling to manage my business with work-life balance. Stress myself out, now planning to return to 9-to-5 work and automating my e-commerce business and find time for me and my relationship. Great. If that is what you are choosing to do right now, I believe in building your business around your life and not building your life around your business. What that means is time for you is not something that you find. It's something that is prioritized. Time for your relationships is something that's prioritized, especially if you have a business. So often, and I've been running this business for over 7 years now. Prior to this, I was still doing very similar work, helping women heal their bodies from the inside with herbal remedies and teas and things like that. And then I was making jewelry before that. And so I kind of have some insight on building a business and building a business around your life. So often when you're starting a business and you're growing a business, maybe you're not just getting started, but maybe you're growing a business and maybe sales are slowing down or you're not making the money that you want to make. The natural inclination is to work harder, do more, go harder, all of the harder things, right? Grind harder, all the harder things, right? But many times what actually unlocks the door of abundance for you is taking that time off, is making sure that you're pouring into yourself and you're keeping your cup full and you're showing up in your business as a full woman, not as someone who is desperate to make a sale. So that's something to think about. Going back to 9-to-5 work can be helpful in that, because then you're not fully leaning on and depending on your business to be your provider when it hasn't reached that point yet. And you can do business from a place of ease and grace rather than from a space of anxiety and desperation. So even going back to your 9-to-5, though, I would say make sure that your time for you and your time for your relationship are priorities. And it's not, if I can find time for this, then I will do it. Because what you'll realize is that everything begins to feel easier, begins to attract itself to you much easier when you are being abundant, not just doing things that you hope will lead to abundance. When you say, I am taking this time to myself, I am going on a date with myself, I am going to treat myself to this, I'm going to make sure that I'm taken care of and my cup is full, that literally comes from a place of, because I have time, because I have the resources, because I can. But a lot of times we think that we have to work ourselves to that point, when really it's about taking back your power. You already have the time. You don't have to earn your own time. So I hope that that was helpful for you, and congratulations on making a decision, even if it's not a decision that you love right now. If you are ready for coaching, I would 100% say Come join us in the master training. I believe you've taken the master training already. Come join us in the Feminine Success Circle so that you can get ongoing coaching to support you as you're making these transitions, as you're building your relationship. So I hope that was helpful. Phoenix Rising says, well, any advice on how to get friends and lovers to do for you as you do for them? I've had to pull back and do less so that others can do more, but no one is doing more. I need my confetti and support. So first of all, throw your own confetti. Throw yourself some confetti. When you find that you've pulled back from doing more so that others can do more, have you actually made a specific request for the more that you're looking for from others? Or are you saying, well, I'm not going to do it so that they can do it. Hopefully they'll do it. Because there's a difference there. We as women are naturally designed. This is why we say things like, well, nobody has to ask me. Am I the only one around here who sees the dishes need to be done? Am I the only one who sees whatever? Because of our biology and how we're designed to have babies, even if we choose not to have children, because biologically that's how we are designed, we are also designed to be tuned into other people's needs. If you have a child, you automatically snap into, what does this baby need? What is it? So when we are in community, we naturally tune into everybody else's needs around us, especially those of us who are connected to our feminine. But there can be a point where you are too connected, not too connected, but you are what we call in the shadow side of the feminine, where you are fulfilling other people's needs to make them fulfill your needs. You are over giving so that people can give to you. That's the shadow side of the mother archetype. And we talk about the 4 feminine archetypes inside of the feminine success community. But sometimes we're operating in that shadow side and we're not bringing light to what we actually want. So I would say, ask specific questions, make specific requests. If you're dealing with a man, give him options. Okay, give him options. We all know men don't like feeling like they're being told what to do. Now I'm giving y'all some master training insight and support here. We all know men don't like being told what to do. They just don't, especially by women. However, you can, my husband is right here. I'll say, hey, I have so much going on today. I have 1,000 tabs open. That's the language that I use. I don't like having more than 3 tabs open on anything, including my computer. I'll be like, I have so many tabs open right now. And he'll say, well, what do you have going on? And I'll tell him what's on my list and choose 2 or 3 of those things and say, hey, the kids still need to be bathed. The kitchen still needs to be cleaned, and something else. Which of those 3 things can you help out with? And by giving options, you take away the no and you put them in choice. So that's how I would approach that. Okay. All right. Facebook user says, any tips on being vulnerable? Yes. First tip is to ask for help. Ask for help and start by asking for simple things. My husband's right here. Like when we first got married, me asking for help was the hardest thing in the world. Like I would come to tears having to ask for help. So I understand, y'all. I would be like, because especially as Black women in this society, we've been made to feel like we are inadequate if we need help. Like you are not woman enough if you can't do it all, if you can't be it all. And so it would be like simple things, a seasoning that's at the top of the cabinet. And I'd be like climbing on the cabinet to get the seasoning. And he's like, I'm tall. Like you could just ask me. You married a taller person so that you could you could have this help. And I literally would be like, but I don't want to be a burden. And asking for help just made me feel like such a burden. So I started with small things and I gave myself a quota. One time a day. Once a day. Every day I'm going to ask for help once a day. And it would be simple things. If I'm walking through the store and I need to get a case of water, I'll ask someone, hey, can you come and help me get this case of water, please? If I'm leaving the store, and this is something my clients do all the time now. One of my clients told me recently, she's like, I never leave the store without asking someone to help me to my car with my bags. Allow someone to help, ask for it. Hey, can I get someone to help me to my car with my bags? Allow yourself to notice where you need help first and then be willing to actually ask for it. Another piece about vulnerability, a lot of people say, well, I've asked for help and people tell me no, so I just don't ask anymore. Do you want help or not? Like, like do you want to be helped, or do you just want to be told yes? Because vulnerability naturally opens you up to a no, but that no doesn't have to be your no. Just because you asked someone for help and they told you no doesn't mean that help isn't available for you. Ask somebody else. Okay. Don't allow yourself to be stopped by one person's no. It could be that they just don't have the capacity to help you, which is a blessing that they told you no, because I'd rather someone who does not know how to do it say, you know what, I can't do that. I don't know how to do that. Than for someone who doesn't know how to do it to say, yeah, I can help you out. And then I realize hours, days, weeks later, this person don't even know what they're doing. I could have figured this out on my own or asked somebody who did know what they was doing. Is that not the most annoying thing in the world? So appreciate the no's when you get the no's and don't let them stop you from getting your yes. Okay. I hope that supported you. So, babe, since you're right here, how do you feel about vulnerability? What does that make you feel as a man for women to ask you for help, to express vulnerability around you? He don't want to come on camera because he don't have a haircut, y'all.
Yeah, putting a hat on.
Because they can't hear you. Your voice is very low. He's coming. Okay.
All right, all right, all right. Hi, ladies.
My other half.
So there's a trust factor there. Like if especially simple things like I'm standing right here, I can get the soap for you. But when it's like, it make us feel we we want to be a part of y'all world as much as it seems like we don't care about nothing y'all have going on, but we do. And it gives, it's like a trust thing, like she at least trusts me to get the soul down for her. But the more you ask, the bigger projects you ask, him to help with, it makes him feel trustworthy. Like you trust him. Right? I can get this done. We all men, us men, we want to do that. We always want to get things done, and we always like challenges. You know what I'm saying? We like to be challenged, and if it's something we can help y'all with and put a smile on y'all face, man, that's the world. So yeah.
And I think that also goes back to the conversation earlier about keeping. Now that you've manifested a relationship, how do you keep it? Men thrive on being trusted and feeling capable and feeling purposeful and feeling like there is a place for them in your life. Those things alone will keep a person coming into your world. I also said what I said about a month is still observing time, because you don't really know if you can trust the person after a month. Truly. You can trust them with some things, but you don't know after a month whether you can trust the person. And that's why, if that was you, Chantel, go in and watch How to Vet Your Male Partner in Feminine Success School. Partners and friendships is what I talk about in that video, because I talk about something called stress testing. And I talk about it in a different way than what you often hear, online when you're stress testing things. But you want to make sure that you can trust the person in the relationship that you want to keep around. Sometimes we're trying to keep people who don't even deserve to be there. Not to say that that's your situation, but you do want to be intentional about that. Let's see. Janetta says, any advice on what to do when you feel stuck and unsure when you have found that you have to rebrand due to so many changes in society? So, can you give me a little bit more detail, Janetta, on what you are rebranding, what you're feeling stuck on, like changes in society and things like that, that you mean specifically as it pertains to your business? Because I can help you with that. Icy Walker says, speaking of mental health and anxiety, what top tip and wisdom can you give to help release some of the stress in the body? I'm an educator and nonprofit owner. Movement, releasing stress in the body. For the feminine body, we have to move, y'all. We are so sedentary in this life, in this society. We are so sedentary. Stretching daily. I'm going to just give you some practical wisdom. Stretch every day. And I don't mean just like stretching you yawning. Take 10 minutes at the top of your day and stretch your muscles out. 10 minutes at the bottom of your day and stretch your muscles out. Movement as well. I dance all the time, but especially on days when I have a lot of coaching going on. Today was one of those days. I had coaching calls, I had meetings, it was a lot happening, I have kids, just a lot going on. I turn on, I'm from New Orleans, take that how you will, but I turn on bounce music and I dance. So dancing also supports. I'll turn on some Afro beats. I'll turn on some dance hall. My husband is a roots reggae kind of man. I ain't trying to be easy skanking when I'm needing to get some stress out. So I do recommend that. I also recommend, if you are in a marriage, a relationship where you feel safe and intimate, sex is a great stress reliever, a way to release stress from the body. Having orgasms, I'll say, because sometimes bad sex is just as stressful as anything else. Actually having pleasurable and enjoyable experiences with your body can also help release that stress. I also have a practice wherever I feel stress in my body. Say you are teaching, you're an educator, so like you're in the front of the classroom teaching, and suddenly you feel stress in your chest. I stop, and that doesn't have to be a full stop where you're like, I need to walk out of the classroom, but just a pause, a gentle pause. I observe what that feeling is. I allow myself to feel it, notice where I'm feeling it in my body. Is it in my throat? Is it in my head? Is it in my chest? Is it in, where am I feeling it in my body? And I touch that area. And it's an acronym that I use called SOFT. I go into it more in the master training: stop, observe, feel, touch. And it supports you with emotional regulation and that psychosomatic piece that can come up. Y'all can tell I was a psychology major because these kinds of things just bring me so much joy. But that mind body piece, where the stress is starting to manifest and show up as pain and aches and things like that in your body, bringing a sense of softness and touch to that area, acknowledging the feelings that you're feeling rather than stuffing them in the closet. And as they say in like corporate, go cry in the bathroom. Rather than doing that, allowing yourself to feel those feelings and get it out. Not necessarily crying, but actually giving your body some gentle touch to acknowledge, I understand that you're in pain. We're going to process this. So that is a few things that I do. Movement, very important. Exercise, stretching, very important. And also, if you're in a relationship, pleasurable sex is another way to release that stress from your body, because as women, we can tend to hold stress in our bodies. Men are a lot more physical than we are, so they're exercising, working out, moving around, walking, doing all kinds of things, and we tend to be more sedentary. We tend to be kind of right around our little area, and that's just that. Get active to really get that out. Even doing things that are unexpected. I hate push-ups. Like literally, I hate push-ups. But when I am feeling that feeling of intense stress, or my mind is now racing and like anxiety is coming up, I was listening to Mel Robbins, and Mel Robbins is awesome. I really love her approach to things. One of the things that she talked about was something called neurobics, which is like aerobics for your brain. But what the method is an unexpected physical activity paired with a positive thought pattern or a positive language. So when I do my push-ups, when I'm stressed out and frustrated, I'm telling myself, you are stronger than anything that can come your way. My body isn't expecting to be doing push-ups. So it is integrating this messaging in a whole different way. So I would recommend that as well. Neurobics. And it doesn't have to be push-ups. What the example that Mel Robbins gave was actually brushing your teeth with the opposite hand. So any unexpected physical activity paired with the mindset that you are trying to adopt, whatever that mindset shift is. All right. So I hope that helped you, Icy. I hope I'm saying your name properly. Let's see. Janetta is back. Thank you for elaborating, Janetta. She says, my life in general, my business used to help pregnant moms. Due to some laws here in Michigan, I have to find out how to go a different way. And I can't figure out what to really do. I feel stuck. So there are so many ways to help pregnant moms. You can be a doula, you can be a midwife. Yes. But you can also be a pregnancy coach. You can also be a postpartum coach. You can also, one of my clients is a dance instructor, but she only works with pregnant women to like loosen up your body and get you dancing and moving when you're pregnant. So there are a ton of different ways that you can go. I would decide for myself that I'm not using the language stuck anymore. My coach tells me stuck is a choice. I really believe stuck is a choice. You can choose to not be stuck. You can choose to say, right now, I'm taking some time to allow my business to rest so that I can decide where I'm going next. Because we don't have to be stuck. We don't have to allow being paused to mean that we're stuck. It can mean I'm just re-strategizing right now. Okay, so different language will also help you to move past stuckness. All right. And also ask yourself, what is it that you love the most about helping pregnant women? What was it that you loved the most about the way that you were helping pregnant women? Is there a way for you to still support pregnant women, birthing women, women trying to conceive? I have another client who supports women who are trying to conceive. So pregnancy is, to me, a lifelong journey in womanhood for women who do desire to be pregnant, because there is the work that you do beforehand to prepare your body to be pregnant. There is the work that you do during pregnancy. There's the work that you do post-pregnancy, which to me, that's my passion. After having all these babies, I at one point loved pregnancy and all of those things. I still love pregnancy, but after having 4 children, I realized that postpartum doesn't get the shine that it deserves. Like, the feminine body needs to be cared for at a very high level after we have the baby. And so often we just stop as soon as the baby comes. So think about, where on the journey do you most love supporting women? What did you most love about supporting them? And begin to re-strategize around those things. All right. Let's see. Janetta says, plus dating is hard now. No one trusts anyone with everything going on with masks and social distancing. And again, language is so important. Decide that it's not no one. There are still people who trust people. There are still people who, and this is why I recommend coaching. People think it's because I'm a coach. It's really not. If I wasn't a coach, I would still recommend coaching. I would still recommend being a part of communities, because sometimes it's like, remember when the pandemic started and business owners were like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do with my business now? Nobody has any money anymore. Where was that conversation coming from? More than likely, it was coming from talking to other business owners who were like, all my clients are leaving me right now. Nobody has any money. And then watching the news and hearing folks say, oh, the economy is down and it's crashing and nobody has any money. When you're around different people that are having different conversations, those same things are not concerns for you. I got more clients who paid in full, and to work in my group coaching program is a 5-figure investment. I had more clients pay me in full last year than I've ever had in the length of my business. In the middle of a pandemic, when everybody was like, nobody has money, people was dropping $12,000 and $15,000 like it was nothing. Okay. So who are you around? What kinds of conversations are you having? Because that does inform what you believe is available for you. And that's so important. What you believe is available is what you will reach for. If you believe nobody has any money, nobody trusts anybody, you're going to think, well, dating is so difficult. It's so hard right now because nobody, when on the other side of that, we have been locked in our homes for almost 2 years now, and people are very excited to get back out and meet people and be social and be connected. So there's another truth that is available for you. And you get to decide which one you're going to live with and embrace. All right. So I hope that was helpful for you, Janetta. Thank you so much for sharing too. I really appreciate your question. All right. Hearts. Thank you. You're welcome, Jasmine. Thank you, Janetta. You're welcome as well. Icy says, perfect. Yes, that is how you pronounce it. Thank you. I do need to get more movement. Yes, make movement a part of your everyday life. Like your bones, your joints, your muscles, your blood, all of it will thank you for moving. And I do not like to work out, y'all. I'm not the person who's like fit mom over here. I'm not. Okay. I just happen to be genetically a very small person, but I don't like working out. But I know that I need to move. I know that I feel better about myself. I feel more productive. I'm less achy and less cranky when I have gotten that movement in. So make that a priority. All right. And it can be dance, it can be swimming, it can be walking on the beach. We've decided that in this season, the beach is where we're going to be so that we can fill our cups and prepare for wherever we're going to do next. So we've come to the beach and we take walks on the beach and just enjoy. So movement doesn't have to be that you are, pumping iron. All right. Let's see. Janetta says, I definitely need to work on my language. I will definitely look into coaching from you. So Janetta, I mentioned earlier, the next masterclass cohort starts on Tuesday. It is the last one that I will be coaching live. So if that is something that you're interested in, the link is in the description of the video. It's box2blueprint.com. And yeah, there is a payment option that is currently available. It is the best way to get started working with me is to go through the master training. Let me see. Do I have? I don't. I don't have it. I don't have it, y'all. Okay. All right. So, box2blueprint.com for those of you who are ready for more of this, who are saying, you know what, 2021 was quite a year, and I want to walk into 2022 with strategy. I want to walk into not even just 2022, but the next season of your life with strategy. You're tired of trying to DIY it and hoping that it works, and you want something that actually works. That's what I'm here for, to support you with getting results. 4 key areas that we specifically focus on in feminine success, just so that you're aware. We focus on what I call the matrix of womanhood. A matrix is, for those who don't know, matrix and maternal and mother all come from the same word. So matrix is a feminine word, and it is literally the cross section of all of your responsibilities as a woman. It is the web that you've weaved of your life. And what I help you to do is to decode that matrix in 4 key areas: your thought life, that's your relationship with yourself, the environment on the inside of you, your home life, the relationships that you have, the support that you have with the people within your home, and the sense of peace that you are able to bring with you wherever you go, your work life, and your relationships. That's your romantic relationships, family relationships, work relationships, all of it. So those are the areas that we focus on in feminine success to build a solid foundation for you. So the master training starts on Tuesday. We kick off on Monday, and the last day to join is this Friday. All right. So I hope that this has supported you, that you've gotten what you need. We have gone a lot longer than I thought we would. A lot longer than I thought we would, but I hope that you got what you needed from this live and that you've been edified. I look forward to supporting more of you. If you are serious about transformation, if you are serious about showing up and stepping up for yourself in this next season, you're tired of being stuck. And I don't mean just tired enough to complain about it. I mean, you're tired of being tired. I mean, you are tired of tossing around the hoping that you've gotten the answers, YouTubing it, Googling it, and still not feeling like you have solid footing, still not feeling like you are attracting what you want to attract in your relationships, or you're communicating in the way that you need to in your work relationships, family relationships. This is the master training for you. On the page, so when you go to box2blueprint.com, you can actually scroll down and see lots of testimonials from women who have walked through the training, have gotten the support, and have changed their lives. I don't want you to walk into this decision uninformed. I do want you to know that this is the right space for you, because it is an investment. There are payment options available. So take advantage if that describes you. If you've heard this and you're like, yes, I need this, this is for me, take advantage, step in. You will not be disappointed. I can tell you that all day, but go read for yourself, go see for yourself, and make sure that it is a good fit for you. And I look forward to supporting you even more. I may come on a couple more times throughout the week before we close on Friday, and give a little bit more support, but we'll see. Let's see. We have one more question. How do you stay disciplined to follow through with your plans? How do you stay disciplined to follow through with your plans? The first thing is having a community, for sure. Having accountability helps me to stay disciplined. Having someone who's going to say, you said you had ABC goal. Did you do ABC? That's the first thing. I always say, too many of us are trying to be our own accountability partner. And that is why your goals are not being accomplished, because you are trying to be your own accountability partner. And when you don't do it, you can find reasons. You can justify why you didn't do it to yourself. You can, oh girl, but we were tired. Oh, well, maybe we'll do it tomorrow. Oh, we'll get back around to it. So that's the first thing, is making sure that you have accountability in your life. The second thing is making sure that you actually have a plan. Sometimes you are not following through with your plan because your plan is missing steps. And every time you get to those missing steps, you get frustrated, you get overwhelmed because you don't know what to do next, and you stop. And then you go pick that plan up again 6 months later, but those steps are still missing. So you keep getting to those missing steps and you keep stopping or procrastinating, not because you're lazy, not because you're unfocused, but because you're not sure of what to do. So that is also important, making sure that you actually have a solid plan. The next thing is making sure that you have strategy. Strategy is more important than a plan, y'all. And the reason is, you can have a plan and some part of that plan not go the way that you wanted it to go or that you planned it to go. But do you have strategy to keep you on track? Do you have a strategy for finding out the answer when the answer that you thought was the answer wasn't the right answer? That's why strategy is so important. Because strategy is more all-encompassing. Strategy helps you to get to the goal when the plan doesn't go as planned. Strategy keeps you connected to your why. Why am I even doing this in the first place? Because when the plan doesn't go as planned, often we're like, see, that's why I didn't do it anyway. See, that's why I didn't. And it's like, but did you have a strategy so that, because the best laid plans often fail. But do you have a strategy to make sure that you can get back to the plan? You can get back to the goal. You can get back on track if a portion of the plan or the whole plan just doesn't go the way that you thought it would. So those are my tips. I also recommend building discipline around desire. Sometimes we try to build discipline around just being disciplined, just because I should be disciplined. And naturally, your mind is going to resist things that are uncomfortable. But if you build your discipline around desire, great example is my husband. Right now, he is going through a very intense rites of passage program for men. And the program has him. So, Kiara, you've been around a long time. You know, my husband has been a meatitarian as long as you have known us. Okay, he loves to grill. He is excellent at it. He loves a good piece of chicken, piece of fish, whatever. This program has had him go from a flexitarian diet to a vegetarian diet to a vegan diet to now a raw vegan diet he's on, to a couple weeks from now he'll be juice fasting. I've never seen him be more disciplined. He's not disciplined around the program. He's not disciplined around the diet. He's not disciplined around the rites of passage. He is disciplined around his desire to be a better man. He is disciplined around the desire to see who he is on the other side of this process. He's disciplined around the desire, not around the actions. And so often we try to discipline ourselves around actions that we don't even like. You're trying to discipline yourself to work out and you don't even like working out. But what you need to discipline yourself around is that tight body that you want to have, so that in your mind, you keep that body as the thing that you are disciplined around, not the workout. The workout will walk you to the body. But if you've ever tried to discipline yourself around a diet or a workout before, and it's just like, oh, I just want to lose 20 pounds, but you're not envisioning how you're going to look when you lose those 20 pounds. What kind of clothes are you going to wear now? How much more activity will you be able to do once you lose the weight? What is your lifestyle going to be like? The desires, eventually you're going to fall off the diet and you're going to stop working out. So that's what I recommend as it pertains to discipline, and sticking to a plan. Because listen, disciplining yourself around activities and action steps and the process and all of those and the plan is great if you can do it, but most people cannot. Most people need to keep the end goal in mind, and most people need accountability to remember that end goal when they don't like the process. So get accountability, prioritize that. Get a desire in your mind, prioritize that desire. And also look at the parts of the process that you don't like and that you don't have to do, that maybe you don't like and you're not even good at, and outsource those things rather than trying to be disciplined enough to do those things. Get help from someone. Vulnerability, again, we're back to vulnerability. Get help from someone who is good at those things and can support you better and can more than likely get it done a lot quicker than you like procrastinating and, oh, I'm gonna do it later and all these other things, and then it never gets done. All right, so I hope that this was supportive for you. Icy says, lady, you are a blessing. This was good. I am so glad that this supported you, Icy. I hope that that gave you what you needed. Kiara, Janetta, Jasmine, everyone who asked questions on this live, I hope that you got what you came for. For those of you who will be joining me inside of the masterclass, I look forward. Make sure that you grab your spot now. If you grab your spot now, you have access to over $3,000 in bonus trainings, as well as you will start the class tonight. So you can start watching the video trainings immediately and get the ball rolling. And then we start the live coaching portion on Tuesday. So with that, I'm going to say good night. Thank y'all so, so much for being here. I hope that I have earned the privilege of your time and that you got what you came for. And I'll talk to y'all soon.